So today we are doing three colors: white, champagne from DecoArt, and Payne's Gray. And I find that when I'm doing a technique that may be new to me or different, that limiting my color palette really helps me zero in on what may be a factor in the success of the technique. And this is my go-to color palette because it sells well and it happens to be one of my favorites. The white paint here is mixed with Willie B's recipe of Vallejo Pearl Medium and Artist Loft White. And I did not actually have Vallejo, so I had to order it, which I have a pretty extensive paint supply. I was surprised I didn't have it, but I did order it. It came very quickly from Amazon and it was easy to mix up. It was a little challenging to get the consistency of the white paint to match the colors, but you can see here, right there, that's why I love Payne's Gray so much. You put it with something lighter, and especially with a white or like Amsterdam light blue, and it just changes and becomes so many different shades. This is also helped by the champagne. So DecoArt Champagne and Payne's Gray are my favorite combination. And you can see here that the way that the colors came out of the cup, I came up with champagne at the center instead of the white. But I still like it. I still like the composition. I really love the unique cells that came out. It's almost like a feathering on those edges where the white and Payne's Gray mix. And it was certainly something that, number one, I don't do a lot of ring pours because I don't really like the having to hold my hand in a certain position. It's painful to do. But I did enjoy that one. So this is a shot bomb cup. I don't know if you remember, or you're old enough to remember, in the 90s, 80s, 90s, Flaming Dr. Pepper was like a really big bar drink where they would drop I don't even remember now what it was, liquor in the middle, a shot of liquor in the middle of a glass and light it on fire. And so I guess someone came up with this shot bomb cup for a similar type of drink. So I was curious about that and wanted to give it a try. It holds about 3.5 ounces of paint. And so what I did on this piece was I put the Cloud Mix white in that inside cup and then poured the colors around on the outside. And I did really like the result of this. It came out really well, and for the first time in forever, look at the cells in there. For the first time in forever, I actually had a good dismount on the pour, which is one of the reasons why I have such a challenge with ring pours, because of holding your hand in the same place for so long, and having arthritis is not easy. And then the end, I almost always drip or screw that up, but on this one it actually came out really nice, and my white did end up in the middle. And I'm actually pushing the flow extender so it touches the white there. So spun this out on a spinner. I'm using that Payne's Gray just to cover the corners. I really hate trying to fix the corners and bikini corners, as some artists call them. I find that it's just easier to get that corner wet and then the paint slides over it. And if it doesn't slide over it, then at least you have something from your painting in your mix. This particular piece, that champagne, just really, I'm testing the depth of the paint there, and then I also happened to find a little goober that I needed to get out. the champagne laces over that Payne's Gray in such a beautiful way, and the Payne's Gray mixes with that white. So it's just paint. If you don't like something, scrape it. This wasn't the previous painting, this was something else. On this one, I replaced that cloud mix with Artist Loft Metallic White in the Shop Bomb Cup. And I'm actually trying it to see what kind of reaction I get from that. And I did a flip cup just because it's a tried and true technique, and I wanted to really see what would happen with that Artist Loft Metallic White. I didn't end up getting clouds so much as pearls, which was a surprise. And I had done this a couple of months ago on another collab and came up with purple. I think that Lazy Susan was in the shades of purple. I came up with pearls on that as well, and that was using the Artist Loft Metallic. So I wanted to test it again to see if I could reproduce that same kind of effect. And when I set the painting down, I put it on time lapse so that you can see the pearl cells develop. It's not as pearly as a traditional pearl cell, but it definitely does develop some of that characteristic. And these were fairly thick paints, so I think if I thinned it down, it may have pearled up even better, and it's certainly something worth exploring on a future video. So here's the time lapse of this, and you can see it really quickly over about 20 minutes with the pearls forming. The next photos that I have here are just the art room photos showing the first three paintings. There's the pearl cell, and then there's the two cloud